This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. Deer archery season is in full effect, and the main firearm season is just around the corner. This morning we have Kevin Powell with the Missouri Department of Conservation to tell us what we need to know before we go out on our hunts. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Ella. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Good. So we really just wrapped up the youth season this past weekend, and I hear it's been a successful one.
We did. We had a excellent youth hunting season across Missouri. We harvested about 18,000 deer. So the youth hunters were very successful. It was a safe weekend as far as I know. I know the contacts that I made this weekend were very positive, and we had some really great experiences going on out there.
Perfect. So like we just mentioned, deer archery season is in effect until the 14th, and then afterwards we have the main firearm portions that will begin.
Right.
So besides bringing our weapon that is legal for that time of year, what else do we need to bring on our hunt?
So November 15th, that opening morning, you want to have all your gear in order. Two things that you need to definitely have are your hunter orange hat, your blaze orange, and your blaze orange vest. There's no color like that in nature, so we want everybody to go out and be safe and be seen, and that's very important. Second thing you're going to need is a place to go. And fortunately here in Missouri, in northeast Missouri, we have plenty of public land that people will be able to use. And should you have permission, you need permission to be on private land. So a place to go, the proper safety equipment, and then ultimately you're going to need your permit. So I've got one big giant mock one here for you to fill out eventually when we get to that.
Okay, so let's talk about when it comes to harvesting. Are there different rules and regulations when it comes to different counties and harvesting our deer? How does that work?
Okay, there are, and a hunter should grab their pamphlet whenever they purchase their permits. Okay. And we have the corresponding maps, and you'll need to know whether or not you're in a 1 antlerless deer county or 2 antlerless deer county. Okay. And that's easy to find on pages 7 and 8. Okay. And so hunters should refer to this. It's important that you know whether or not you're a resident or non-resident, and whether or not you're a resident landowner and how much property that you own, and that will determine the permits that you can qualify for.
All right, now let's talk about resident and non-resident. I know that hundreds, if not thousands, of hunters from across the country travel to northeast Missouri for deer season. Okay. Now, do they have to have some sort of different permit or anything like that? How does that work?
Well, the residents and non-residents, they the only thing that will really vary is the cost. But as far as privileges go and harvest limits, they'll be the same. Okay. And then that's where you have to consider out which county that you're in, and should you be in the chronic wasting disease counties or surrounding counties, that will determine whether or not you have the any deer, and then you also have your 1 antlerless or 2 antlerless permits.
Okay, perfect. Now let's go ahead and talk about permits. Obviously, we need a permit in order to go out. What types of permits are there available for us?
Well, let's talk about. I made a big one here. Okay. I wish it was one of those big checks, you know, where you just hand out a big check.
Can you make it for $1 million, please?
Sure. But when you go purchase your permit from a vendor.
Obviously, it's not going to be this big. We just printed out this big so people can see. So, all right.
The first thing you need to do is sign and take possession of that permit.
All right. So you want me to sign it?
You're going to go ahead and take possession of that permit.
Okay.
All right. So this needs to be carried with you in the field. Now we have a couple of great opportunities to purchase your permits. You can go to a vendor, or you can go online, or if you have your smartphone, you can go to the Mo Hunting app and purchase those permits. But you do need to print them off and have them with you whenever you go out in the field. Okay. Okay. So those are the kind of permits. And like I said, we already referred to resident or non-resident. And then we have 2 types of landowners. We have landowners with 5 acres, or we have landowners with 75 or more acres. Gotcha. Okay, and then they will qualify for their privileges, also outlined in the pamphlet.
Perfect. Okay? So now what do we do after we harvest our deer?
Okay, so you've harvested your deer, and the first thing you need to do is invalidate your tag. Okay. It's important you do 2 things, and I can trust you with your grandpa's lucky hunting knife. Right. I'll let you open that up.
Is it just, okay, it's just normal. We're good. Okay.
So on your day of harvest, let's say opening day, you're going to take your pocket knife and you're going to cut a notch in November.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Okay.
It's really that simple.
Oh, and then the 15th,
and then
right?
the date. Yep.
Which would be the 15th?
Yes.
Okay.
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 So this tag has been taken possession of. It's been invalidated, just like it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And then it needs to be kept with the deer.
Okay.
Okay. And there's a couple of different things. You can either keep this on your person and you stay with the deer, or you can attach this to your deer, take it to your processor, or take it back, and that's how you invalidate your tags.
What is this telecheck ID? What's that all about?
Excellent question. Okay, so what you'll do is after you have invalidated your tag, you will call the 1-800 number, and the computer will prompt you through what kind of animal you harvested.
Okay.
And where you harvested it.
Okay.
And then it will give you a number. And that number you will write in that blank line. And then you have completely telechecked
Awesome.
and harvested your animal.
Seems pretty easy.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'll let you close that pocket knife.
How do I close it? I don't even know how to
you know
close
what?
it.
I'll
How about
close
you
it.
do
That's
it?
it. Yeah,
How about
that's
you
a
do
good
it?
idea.
So what I'll do is I'll post everything on our website at heartlandconnection.com, and I'll also link up Missouri Department of Conservation's information if they have any questions or concerns,
Sounds
as
great.
well as your contact information. Thank you so much, Kevin, for coming on. I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Thanks, Ella.
And we'll be right back.